My pick for this week is the Chicago Bears -3.5 at home against the Carolina Panthers. This, I think, might be a Sharps versus Squares pick. It might be a Pros versus Joes. I'm not sure how it's going to net out. Obviously, you love the hook in Carolina. Obviously, Caleb has been struggling. But this is a spot for me that I think we can show that Andy Dalton isn't who we think he was. And he's now faced back-to-back not very good defenses, Cincinnati and then Vegas the week prior. While the offense has not been flowing for the Bears, the defense has been spectacular. They've held all four opponents under 21, including the Texans to 19 points. Their defense is legit. It's a top 5 unit for me. And when you get a veteran quarterback who is not able to really move outside the pocket, and you get a disruptive defense, a defense since they got Montez Sweat have been a top 5 defense going back to middle of last year, you're just going to limit the scoring. And so I think we're selling pretty high on Carolina here. I would imagine with Bryce Young, we'd be laying 6.5 points. And I'm not saying Andy Dalton isn't a step up from Bryce Young, but when we initially handicapped a couple weeks ago what that gap may be, that gap was with the intention that they're going to face a good defense. Andy Dalton was able to take advantage of the last 2 defenses. I don't see that happening. So I just see Carolina having to scrounge for points here. And if they get to 17, can they limit them to 20 points? Yes. But I think they land at 13. And while Chicago's offense has not put up that big explosive year yet, or game rather, I think they can get to 21 points. I think that'll be plenty to cover the number. I know you like Carolina. You can
Yeah,
talk
I
about
hate it.
You can. This is just a great spot for Chicago. I genuinely believe that.
Yeah, I
shred them.
No, there's 2 sides to this bet. I do think. I really do not think that this Chicago team should be laying more than a field goal to many teams. I don't. I think
to many teams, to any teams or many teams, because
to
Carolina
many teams.
is in that. Carolina is in that many to me. That is like their bottom 3. I still find them to be a bottom 3 team.
They are pretty much a bottom 3 team, but I think you have to look at this is a tale of 2 teams. Before Andy Dalton, and with Andy Dalton, and to me after that, here's my thinking. After the Bengals game, I did not downgrade Carolina at all. I thought they actually covered. I thought they actually had a case to cover and win the game. Oh, congrats, Casey! Like, do you want to refund from the books? There, you're gonna like a player got injured.
Just continue roasting Jack. My apologies.
And I'm still not a believer in Caleb Williams. Or I think he's going to be good. He's struggled to start here. There's no question.
Waldron's an issue.
The offensive line.
The O-line is not as much of an issue. The play calling is the number one issue. Jackson Smith-Njigba had an interview over the summer, and he literally hinted at it. Not hinted at it. He said it straight up. He said good luck because it's just an issue. For the first week, they will be getting all 3 wide receivers healthy, playing at the same time. DeAndre Swift, who looked miserable and atrocious all in one the first 3 weeks, finally had an explosive play. They've got Roshan Johnson into the fold. There's just too much talent here to not – I'm not saying they're scoring 35 points this week because I do think Waldron handicaps the team. What I'm saying is they've found a way to score 21 points. Sometimes they don't even need Caleb. They're not playing Will Levis, but sometimes they, find a way.
Is Dalton going to give them points, though?
He could. I think what people are forgetting is, like, Andy Dalton is still a backup at this point in his career, and he's a backup for a reason, and he would be starting elsewhere if they felt he could lead a team to the playoffs. He has looked great through 2 weeks. This is the spot for me. I've seen it a million times. I feel like I've seen it with all these vets who come in as backups. We don't want to be on them the first week. They look good. And then the next week they return to form of who they really are. So that's the handicap. And like Tim said, could it go two ways? Of course. But I'm buying high on, or I'm buying low on. I'm not even buying low. I really just think the Chicago defense is going to stifle the Red Rifle.
Wow.
Thought because he rhymed at the end
bar.
that we would like the pick more.
That actually made me like the pick. I liked Carolina initially, but after that bar, I'm in.